Hey guys, this is Gabriel Lorenzi, creator of the blog Grupo Dicas, one of the biggest travel blogs in the world, and today I am here to tell you how to travel cheaply to Spain, how to plan your entire trip spending as little as possible with the airline ticket, which is the cheapest season, which is the most expensive, transportation, accommodation, how to save money on hotels, the internet cheap, travel insurance that's mandatory for Europe, the tours, food, shopping, and finally several cool tips that will help you save a lot of money. So like the video guys, subscribe to the channel because that really helps us a lot, and that's it, buckle up. Well, Spain is one of the most touristy destinations in Europe. It's a sensational place, it's one of our favorites, it's a very nice place and has many cool tips for you to save money on everything, okay people? We'll give you all the tips you need to know and also the places to hire each service, because the cheapest way we have learned over the years is to personally set up your whole trip. Each service has a place, the hotel is cheaper in these sites, the tours in this one, and we'll give you all the tips here and leave everything organized for you to plan. The first tip that greatly influences the budget of your trip, and in fact it's for any country in Europe, is the season. You should travel during the low seasons, that are high seasons when everything is more crowded, more expensive, and it really makes a difference. It's the summer, the high season months that are the summer months that start at the end of June and go through July, August, and the beginning of September. July and August are the most expensive months, mainly in the beach destinations, that is beaches, islands. So if you can avoid these months, in the month of December, that is festivities, New Year's, everyone wants to travel, and it's also fairs in many places of the world, you will have already the things to save a good amount in your budget. Remembering that there in Europe, December, November, and January is winter, mainly December and January. So we try to avoid these months that are very cold. It's really cold. So if you manage to travel in the other months, you already save money and can enjoy your trip much more. Avoiding the high season is the first step to save money. Now let's go to the first service that you have to hire when you plan your trip, which is the airline ticket. Unfortunately, the tickets are really high, they are expensive, but we don't have much of a secret when it comes to airline tickets. Our tip is to research a lot. We always research and keep researching. There is a website that helps us a lot. I'll leave the link here below in the description of the video and in the comments as well. It's a very cool site that compares the price in all airlines and shows you all the flights that are there, and with it you can search every day alternative times, and every now and then a promotion appears, new flights appear, and when the new flight appears the prices are cheaper. So do some research. Another tip, if you're going to the other countries in Europe besides this one, you can also search for flights to the other countries. Sometimes there's a cheaper ticket going to another city, another country, so research these options too. For Europe in general, usually Portugal has the cheapest tickets, Spain also, London and Paris have very good promotions and cheap tickets. So do some research, check your itinerary, and maybe we'll find another option that's cheaper than the one you're researching in the first place, since you have many possible destinations in Europe. And now talking about the lodging, one of the most important items, and that is not cheap either. You will spend a little on this one, but there's no way, okay guys, you need the hotel to stay. In Spain in general, it's not so expensive, right? Barcelona is a very big city, it has its tourist center near Las Ramblas, this very touristy part, but it has several nice areas for you to stay that are cheaper, near the Sagrada Familia, which is an important tourist spot, but it's not such a touristy area. You can find cheap hotels. We stay there once, you can see other areas other side this region that are cheaper, and the subway works very well there too, so you can get a hotel a little bit far away, close to the subway, and you get there quickly. Madrid is a place that has a lot of hotels. I didn't find them expensive, the prices are good, so do some research, see that you will be able to pay a considerably acceptable amount for the accommodation in Spain. There are a lot of good places. A tip that works well with all touristy cities is to try to stay a little away from the touristy area. The further away from the tourist center you go, the cheaper the hotels get. But be a little bit careful not to go too far out because you are well located. Even if you pay a little bit more for the lodging, you are close to everything. You can do things on foot, walking, using public transportation. So it has its pros and cons, so try not to get too far away. To make it easier, we were able to put together a very nice personalized map. I'll leave it here in the description and in the comments here below. Take a look there. It's a customized map of the main cities, which area is already delimited. So you open the map, there is this region, you get as far into the center of the region as possible. You're in the best possible location. The further out you go, the cheaper you get because you're getting a little bit further away from the center. And the golden tip is to buy in advance. With lodging, there's no way. The earlier you book your hotel, the cheaper you will pay. This works for the whole world. The tourism market is like that. As the rooms are sold out and the hotels are running out of rooms, they are pushing the price up. So the sooner you make a reservation, the cheaper you pay, and this is the way you can save more on accommodation and in hotels. And that's where we come in. A site that we like a lot, we only make our reservations through there because it's really the biggest in the world. I am sure you know it. The personalized map is already inside. Take a look there. What happens? This site allows you to cancel for free. It has a free cancellation negotiation with almost every hotel in the world. You enter, look around, see a good price, make a reservation, because this price will increase week by week, day by day. Then if you want to cancel, change hotels, change neighborhood, you can cancel in one click. There's no bureaucracy. You don't pay anything. So use this strategy. We use it a lot. You already know where you're going. Search, get a nice hotel, see a good price, book it. Later, if you need to cancel, that's why this site helps a lot. And I'll leave below in the description the hotels that we stayed in, which are hotels with good cost, good location, and we loved them. I'm going to leave them below in this site as well. Take a look. Check the price at the time you're going to travel, but if you search and do it in advance, you can save a lot on lodging. Yes, just take a look there, research a lot, and book it in advance. And now talking about the tours, it's very nice, people. In Spain, both Barcelona, Madrid, Ibiza, which are the beaches, Mallorca, Menorca, you will have many free tours to do. On the beaches, if you walk along the beach, enjoying the beach, it's already a very nice tour that you will not pay anything. There are the squares, the streets in Barcelona, Las Ramblas. In Madrid, there's the historic center. So there are many nice places that you will be walking around and you will not spend anything. The public parks are very nice, so explore this more cultural and touristic part of the city that's open to the public. That will be enough time on your trip. But there are many destinations and places that you need a ticket to visit. Barcelona has all the Gaudi museums. The Sagrada Familia is the main attraction. You have to buy a ticket. Casa Batlló, La Pedrera, the Parque Güell. There are many nice places that you need a ticket. For the other cities too, but more for Barcelona. So our tip to save money with these tickets that you have to buy, we can consider some aspects, but we are here to give you all the tips for you to save money on that. Our tip, always buy in advance, that you will pay cheaper. There are several sites where you can pay in your currency and you don't need to pay IOF, so you end up saving a little bit more money. Buying in advance helps a lot. There's a site that we buy from, it's the biggest ticket and tour site in Europe, and now I think in the world they are giants. They are very good because they have all the tours, the price is very good, and until today, every time we used them in Europe, it was sensational. Good tours, everything very good. So take a look at their site. We always do it there. It's cheaper and in your currency. So I'll leave the link here below as well. Take a look there so you can get an idea of the prices, the main tours, get organized and make a plan. And also watch our video after what to do in Lisbon, what to do in Porto, where we talk more about the sites, the tours, the places. It's pretty cool. I think you're gonna have a pretty cool idea of what to do, the nice tours, so we can get into more detail. Now for the tips on how to save money with food. The food's not so cheap, especially because everything is in euros. It ends up being a little more expensive, there's no way, but here are some nice tips. When you arrive, try to find a grocery store or something that sells food that you can buy much cheaper. Already buy a package of water, buy some things to drink, juices, snacks, bars, snacks, whatever you're going to consume during the day, because it's already a very good saving. People in the hotel, if you drink water, it costs 2 or 3 euros. It's expensive. In these places, you buy for 4 or 5 euros a box with a bunch of bottles and use them on your trip. Do this and you will save a lot of money. And in the restaurants, always try to stay away from the tourist areas. It will be right in front of the main attraction of the city. Any restaurant around it's going to be much more expensive. So 4 or 5 blocks that you walk out of these zones, you already find restaurants that are just as good for much less. So this also helps a lot to get emptier restaurants, more local restaurants. We like to do that a lot, and most of the time it works a lot. We find good restaurants even better than these ones in the tourist spots, and we pay a lot less money. Oh, and an extra tip on food. In restaurants, you can ask for tap water, which is the tap water, because there is in most countries in Europe, it's filtered. So they give you a glass of cold water and you don't pay anything for it. We didn't know about this tip the first time we went to Italy. We asked for a water at a restaurant. He asked a bottle of water and I said yes. He came back with a bottle that we paid 8 euros for. Converting it to 8 euros is a good value. We didn't know. We did that about 3 times, but then we found out and never paid that amount again for water. That's not cheap in euros. So tap water is a way of saving money as well. And now talking about shopping. Europe is not such a good destination for shopping, for example, as it is in the United States, where you will do a lot of shopping and cheaper, but there are very nice products. We always find something or another. It's a nice place. It depends a lot on the intention and purpose of each one. One thing that I thought was great about all these cities in Spain, Barcelona was our favorite one for shopping. It has a lot of stores. This part near Las Ramblas, near the Gothic quarter, there are a lot of stores. There's a huge Zara. There are also the department stores that are very big, so you can walk around in these stores. These street stores are very nice in Barcelona, unlike other cities in Europe that don't usually have malls. Has 2, 3 very nice malls. So do a little research, see the mall that's closest to you, because there are many of these stores that we are used to. I would focus on the shopping in Barcelona, because in the islands, Ibiza, Mallorca, Menorca, forget about shopping. And in Madrid, there are quite a few things, but I think Barcelona is totally the best option if you are looking for shopping. And a very nice tip is the tax-free. It's the tax-free fund. People call it in many ways. In the whole of Europe, almost every country there, they have a tax-free or tax refund. What is it? When you make a purchase of a product, you go into a store and buy a bag, a backpack, an outfit, or whatever. You pay the value, which is the tax charged by the government, by the city. What do they understand? That if you're a tourist, you're not going to take advantage of this tax because you're not going to live there. You're going to go back to your country. So they allow you to recover this money. It's very nice. It's around 17 to 25% of the value. It varies a lot from country to country, but it's very easy. Most of the stores, the big stores, already participate. They usually have a sticker in the store. You can ask if the attendant if they have a tax-free. Most of them do. When you buy a certain product over a certain amount of money, you can opt for being tax-free. Most of the time the attendant asks and you say yes. They will give you a form, the receipt, everything you need to fill out. Take your passport, because it will put your data, your names on its form. You put them all together, and at the end of the trip, regardless of which country you're in, at the last airport in Europe, when you go back to your country, you go to the tax-free fund and they have all these receipts and get them in cash. They give you cash or credit card or check. It's very easy. It really works. So it's a nice economy. Our last time to us, 21%. So it's a good money back to us. Do some research, type in tax-free in the country you're going to. Check out the rules, but it's very easy to do. In general, people don't have a lot of problems. Just you get the receipts, you get everything, and you get your money back. It's very simple. Oh, and people, just a second, very quickly, anyone who wants to can send us any doubts about traveling that we are always trying to help. It's taking a while because a lot of messages are coming in, but to make it easier, add me on @PaiLorenzi on Instagram, send me a direct with your question that I'll try to answer, and take the opportunity to follow us there. We are always traveling around the world. We are living in Orlando now, here in the United States. We moved here about a year ago. There's also a new channel, Familia Lorenzi. Subscribe there later. It's really cool. We show the routine here in the United States, the daily life, the Disney parks, all the attractions. Take a look there, subscribe, give us some help, and you will like it. And now let's talk about international travel insurance. For those who don't know, it's mandatory for almost all countries in Europe, so you will have to take one. But people, it's very cheap. When I first heard about it, I thought it was expensive, but it's really cheap. To give you an idea, for a trip of 7 or 8 days, we'll pay maybe 18 euros. A good travel insurance that will cover you for medical assistance, theft, all luggage, several things that can happen during the trip. A doctor's appointment, a hospitalization in Europe is a fortune. That's why they make this travel insurance mandatory. So the obligation is you have to have travel insurance that covers over $30,000 in medical assistance. It seems like a lot, but the price with this large coverage is the price I told you about. So it's cheap. Do it right away, get it printed so you don't have any problems when you enter Europe. There is a site that we use that's amazing. It's a comparator, a tool that compares travel insurance in the biggest travel insurance companies in the world, and in just about 10-30 seconds it shows you all the travel insurance options of all these insurers. You can immediately see which are the cheapest, which are the best, and choose your own. People, it's cheaper there than in the insurance companies themselves because it's the biggest comparator in the world. They have a very strong negotiation with these insurance companies, so there is the cheapest place that we found until today. It's very easy, simple, their support is very good. If you have any questions, you can ask them in the chat room and they answer very quickly. So take a look there and you will see that's not expensive and it's very easy. I will also, guys, leave the link here in the description of the video and also in the comments as well. All the links that I'll mention here in the video, I'll leave them in the video description and in the comments. It's easier to access from the computer, which is easier for you to plan, make your reservations, opening the sites. So if you have some time later, open it on your computer, find the description of the video, the comments, and go through them one by one. It helps a lot to plan and get an idea of the entire value for your trip. Another service that's important to hire when traveling, even more nowadays, is the travel chip. Traveling today without using the internet is very complicated, even to work, to communicate with family, friends, and to explore the place. With the internet working there, you can use maps, Waze, search for store information, addresses, everything. You end up being connected to the world, so it's very important for you to have the connection there. You can activate international roaming from your local carrier, which you already have your account today. It's usually very expensive. It's not worth it. Some carriers sometimes offer promotions, take a look at yours, but in most cases it's not worth it. What most people do is buy a prepaid international chip, which is a chip from the country that will work. You will have your cell phone for a certain period. You buy the package there and that's it. Then you don't pay anything else. It's much cheaper and you have two options. You can buy it in advance and you can buy it when you get there in Europe. What are the differences? When you get there in Europe, if you look for the chip to buy, you will pay a little bit cheaper. Yes, it's a little bit cheaper, but in our opinion, it's not worth it because you will have to go there, you will arrive at the airport without internet, you will have to look for a store, communicate in another language, put in your cell phone. If you have any questions, the support, you name it. We have done this a couple of times and we didn't like it. We think that the economy was not worth it. So if you want to save the most, this is the cheapest place. But if you want to pay a little bit more, we think it's more advantageous to buy the chip before you travel. They send you an electronic chip that works very well. It's a digital chip. The newer devices today accepted it. You receive a QR code and on the same day you install it and you already have the package with the internet to use abroad in any country in the world. Then you can use it in other trips. We think it's much better. You already travel without this worry. You don't spend hours of your day in the stores, and I think it was worth it, but it's up to each one. I'll of course leave the link. Everybody asks for the link, so I'm gonna leave the link here so you can have a look at their plans, their prices, and their support. It's very good, guys. You can talk to them, ask what the best plan for this country. They will explain everything to you, and it's gonna be very direct, very simple, very easy, and we think that surely is the best option. And now let's get into transportation. Okay guys, how to get around Spain. Speaking of Barcelona, which is the main destination, we like to walk a lot. So if you are well located in the center, you can do almost everything on foot. It's very nice to walk. The subway works very well, and if you need to go somewhere further away, Uber was very good, better than cabs, right? So use these alternatives there, but you won't have much difficulty. Madrid too, driving around inside Spain is very nice. And on the islands, Ibiza, Mallorca, and Menorca, we rent rented the car, okay? There, we think it's very important to rent the car because there's not much transportation. There are big islands, things are far away, so renting a car was important. And for the other countries, if you want to go to another country or even to go from Barcelona to Madrid to Valencia, Seville, other cities in the interior of Spain, the train ends up being an excellent option. So always research the price of the car rental, the train, and the airfare because it can vary a lot. And the train works very well there in Europe. It's very fast, organized, cool. You can go observing the landscape. It's a great option for you too. It's very beautiful and it's very nice too. Regardless of which form of transportation you choose, I'm going to explain quickly now where you can hire each one of these for the lowest possible prices, so you have no problems. Now, the websites and places to hire all these cheapest transportations, what are they? If you want to rent a car, there's a car comparator that's the same as the travel insurance comparator. It's amazing, we only use them. It compares the prices in all the major car rental companies in the world and gets unbeatable prices. And there's the cheapest place. It's very good too, we only do it there, and I'll leave the link here below for you. Take a look. For car rental is the cheapest place of all. Take a look there, you will get an idea of the price. If you want the train, there is also a site that's a train comparator which has all the tickets. I'll leave it here below for you as well. We used it a lot in our last trips. And the last option, there's also an option for those who are not going to rent the car at the airport when you arrive at your destination, is the transfer. It's a car that will be waiting for you. You can buy it beforehand and it will take you from the airport to the hotel, and you can also buy the return trip from the hotel to the airport, which is a good tip. Why? Because you get there, take a cab or even an Uber, you will pay a certain amount. For the transfer, each one calls it one way. You will pay cheaper, you will pay in advance, and you have the security of being a trustworthy company. The person will already be waiting for you with your name on it and will take you to the hotel, so they already know your destination. There is no location error. There are none of those scams that sometimes taxi drivers give tourists of walking more. And finally, it's the safest and cheapest option. So if you're not going to rent a car, a great option for you to go from the airport to the hotel and then return are the transfers. There is a very good site that's actually the same site that we bought the tickets from Europe. I'll leave it here, of course, below too. There you can find the transfer to almost every city in Europe, okay? Arriving at the airport to take you to the hotel, take a look, compare the prices. You will see that's really cheaper, and I found it much safer and more practical, especially for those who don't speak another language. It's very good. And that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like it, please give us a like and subscribe to the channel because it really helps us a lot. And be sure to watch the other videos that are very good. There is the itinerary of the Balearic Islands in Spain, that's very good, that to do in Barcelona, where to stay in Barcelona, what to do in Madrid, what to do in Ibiza. There's the video to plan your whole trip. I'll leave here on the personal side the playlist that has all the videos from Spain for you to watch. And that's it, guys. Thank you very much and have a nice trip.